History is not a river, flowing inevitably to a single destination. It is a fractured, chaotic ocean of moments, a sea of infinite possibilities, where the flap of a butterfly's wing can redirect a hurricane. We believe our reality, our modern world, was inevitable. We look back at its cornerstones, the rule of law, the scientific method, the very concept of individual liberty, as achievements etched in stone. But they are not. They are fragile victories, won by chance, by weather, by the decision of a single person in a single moment of unbearable pressure. We travel now to one such moment. The year is 480 before Common Era. The known world, the civilized world, is held in the grip of one man. Xerxes the Great, the King of Kings, ruler of the Achaemenid Persian Empire. It is a superpower unlike any the world has ever seen, stretching from the deserts of Libya to the mountains of India. It is a stable, multicultural, sophisticated empire, connected by royal roads, ruled by a centralized bureaucracy, and protected by a professional army. And this army, this unstoppable force of hundreds of thousands, is now crashing down upon a tiny, fractured peninsula of argumentative, rebellious city-states, Greece. The invasion has been brutal. The Persian war machine, a leviathan of men and ships, has rolled south. A heroic, suicidal stand by a few hundred Spartans at a narrow pass called Thermopylae bought time, but nothing more. It was a gesture of defiance, but defiance is not victory. The Persian army has marched on, unchecked. The great city of Athens, the heart of this resistance, is now a smoking ruin. Its temples are shattered, its acropolis desecrated. The Athenian population has fled, scattered to the winds, their only refuge a wooden wall. Their navy. This fleet, composed of ships from Athens, Corinth, and other allied states, is cornered. They are trapped in the narrow straits between the Greek mainland and the island of Salamis. Opposing them is the Persian armada, a fleet so vast it drinks rivers dry. It outnumbers the Greeks by at least 2 to 1, perhaps 3 to 1. The Greek alliance is breaking. The Peloponnesian commanders want to flee, to defend their own homes. The Athenian commander Themistocles knows this is suicide. He knows their only chance is to fight here, in the Narrows, where the Persian numbers will count for nothing. In our timeline, Themistocles, in a desperate gamble, sent a false messenger to Xerxes, tricking the Persian king into believing the Greeks were afraid and planning to escape. Xerxes, arrogant and impatient, took the bait. He ordered his fleet into the straits, into Themistocles' trap. The Battle of Salamis was a resounding, impossible Greek victory. It saved the fleet. It saved Greece, and in doing so, it saved the very idea that would one day become our world. But, essay? History pivots on such moments. What if the gamble had failed? What if Xerxes, watching from his golden throne on the shores of Attica, had listened not to his pride, but to his most astute naval commander, Queen Artemisia of Caria? She warned him, she told him, "Do not attack. Your ships are heavier. In the Narrows, they will be clumsy. The Greeks are superior seamen. My king, simply, wait." What if, in that crucial moment, Xerxes had chosen patience over glory? What if, instead of being lured into the trap, the Persian fleet executed the very strategy Artemisia proposed? Not a direct assault, but a crushing blockade. The order is given. The Persian ships, hundreds upon hundreds of them, form an unbreakable chain across the exits of the straits. They do not attack, they just wait. The first domino has just fallen. For days, the Greek fleet sits at anchor. Panic begins to set in. Their food is running low. The Peloponnesian admirals, who already wanted to leave, now see their worst fears realized. They are trapped. Themistocles, the architect of the trap, is now the architect of their doom. Arguments break out. The alliance, forged in fear, now shatters in desperation. While the Greek navy rots from within, Xerxes acts. His army is still on the mainland. The last line of Greek defense is a wall being desperately constructed at the Isthmus of Corinth. But Xerxes has a navy, and the Greeks are trapped at Salamis. Using his fleet as a transport, Xerxes lands 10,000 of his elite immortals behind the Isthmus wall. The Peloponnesian soldiers, masters of the phalanx in an open field, are now caught between the main Persian army to their north and the elite immortals to their south. The battle for the isthmus is not a battle, it is a slaughter. The last land defense of Greece evaporates. The news reaches the trapped fleet at Salamis. All is lost. Sparta is undefended. Corinth is taken. The Peloponnesian ships, in a final act of desperation, try to break the blockade. It is a chaotic, disorganized route. The heavier, faster Persian triremes ram them, board them, and burn them. Themistocles, if he is not killed, is captured, his genius serving only to highlight the magnitude of the failure. The Athenian navy, the wooden wall, is reduced to splinters. Xerxes has won. Greece, as a free entity, is finished. The reaction is swift. Xerxes, the king of kings, is not a barbarian. His goal was not annihilation, it was assimilation. He returns to his capital in Persia, leaving his general Mardonius as the first satrap of the new Persian province of Ionia or Ionia. The Greek cities that resisted, Athens, Sparta, Corinth, are punished severely. Their walls are torn down. Their surviving men are enslaved, their women and children absorbed into the new order. But the cities that had medised, that had submitted to Persia, like Thebes, they are rewarded. They are given control over their former rivals. But the most significant change, the one that will echo down the centuries, happens in the smoking ruins of Athens. The Persians install a tyrant, a local Greek aristocrat loyal to the satrap, to govern the city. His first decree, by order of Mardonius, the abolition of the demokratia. This chaotic, dangerous idea of rule by the people is identified as the root of the rebellion. It is inefficient, it is loud, and it is offensive to the divine order of the king. The agora, the public square where Greeks had gathered to debate and vote, is silenced. It becomes a simple marketplace, its political function erased. In our timeline, a young Socrates would soon walk these streets, questioning everyone, teaching a new way of thinking based on reason. In this timeline, Socrates grows up in a subjugated city, to question the new order, to publicly debate the nature of justice or truth, is not philosophy, it is treason. He remains a stonemason perhaps, or if he does speak out, he is not given a trial by his peers. He is simply executed by a Persian garrison. There is no trial. There is no Plato to record his words. There is no Aristotle to learn from Plato. The very engine of Western rationalism, of logic, of the Socratic method, is strangled in its cradle. The cascade effect tumbles across the decades. Without the Athenian Golden Age, there is no Parthenon as we know it. The great playwrights, Aeschylus, Sophocles, Euripides, if they write at all, they write odes to the great king, not tragedies exploring the complex, messy nature of human freedom and fate. Greek art, which in our timeline discovered humanism and realism, remains static, adopting the formal imperial style of Persepolis. The butterfly effect ripples westward. The Persian Empire, now master of the eastern and central Mediterranean, has a secure foothold in Europe. The Greek colonies in southern Italy, Magna Graecia, fall under the shadow of the Persian satrap. And what of Rome, that small, belligerent republic on the Tiber River? In our history, Rome built its entire civilization on a Greek framework. They copied Greek art, Greek religion, Greek philosophy, and Greek military strategy. In this new reality, there is no Greek framework to copy. The Roman Republic remains a minor Italian power, hemmed in by Etruscans to the north and Persian-allied Greek cities to the south. When Rome inevitably clashes with the other great power in the west, Carthage, a Phoenician colony itself comfortable within the Persian sphere, Rome does not win. It is not facing only Carthage, it is facing a Carthaginian-Persian alliance. The Punic Wars are a footnote. The Roman Republic is crushed, its city sacked, its people enslaved, not by Gauls, but by Carthaginians. There will be no Scipio, there will be no Caesar, there will be no Roman Empire. Let us now jump forward in time. Let us leap centuries into a world that has no memory of Salamis, no memory of Plato, no memory of Caesar. We are in the year that our calendar would call the 1st century. In our world, the Roman Empire was at its peak. The Pax Romana governed the known world, and a new religion was spreading from the province of Judea. In this world, the Achaemenid Persian Empire has endured for 500 years. It is the only superpower. The Pax Persica rules from the shores of Spain to the plains of India. The language of administration, of scholarship, of trade, is not Latin or Greek. It is Aramaic. The great cities are not Rome or Athens or Alexandria. They are Susa, Babylon, and Persepolis. Travel is safe. The royal road is efficient. Tribute flows from the provinces. The satrap of Ionia, Greece, governs a peaceful, if culturally stagnant, territory. The Greeks are known as good sailors, skilled slaves, and clever merchants, but they are a people without a history. Their brief, failed experiment with democracy, a curious footnote for Persian scholars. What of the human mind? What of thought? The dominant intellectual and spiritual force is not Greek rationalism. It is Persian Zoroastrianism. The world is understood not through logic and material inquiry, but through the cosmic struggle between Ahura Mazda, the god of light and truth, and Ahriman, the force of darkness and lies. This is the bedrock of morality. The West, as a concept, as an intellectual tradition, does not exist. The very idea of science, the objective, skeptical inquiry into the natural world, is stillborn. Why question the material world when the spiritual world is the only one that matters? Why seek truth through reason when it is already delivered by the divine authority of the King of Kings, the agent of Ahura Mazda on earth? There is no Renaissance, because there is no classic world to be reborn from. There is no enlightenment, because the primacy of individual reason was never established. The political map of the world is not one of nation-states, of republics and monarchies. It is a map of satrapies, provinces loyal to a single divine emperor. The great political conflicts are not about ideology, like capitalism versus communism, or democracy versus fascism. They are about dynasties. They are palace coups, succession crises, and rebellions by ambitious satraps. This world is not necessarily a dark age. It is stable, it is orderly, it is sophisticated, but it is a world without agency. It is a world where the idea that a normal person, a farmer, a merchant, a soldier, should have any say in their own destiny is absurd. It is a world where liberty is not a right. It is a privilege granted and revoked by a distant throne. We must reflect. One moment, one decision by one man on one shore. Xerxes chooses patience. The trap fails, and in that failure, a timeline unravels. A world is lost, our world. The Persian Empire was vast, tolerant, and in many ways brilliant, but it lacked one radical, dangerous idea. The idea that was born in the noisy, chaotic agora of Athens. The idea that human beings, through reason and debate, could govern themselves. That idea, which we inherited, is the foundation of every parliament, every republic, every constitution, and every scientific breakthrough we have ever had. Our reality was not inevitable. It was bought with blood, luck, and the desperate gamble of a few men in a narrow channel of water 2.5 millennia ago. We look back at the ruins of Athens and see the birthplace of our world, but in another timeline, in a reality just a whisper away from our own. Those ruins are just ruins. A monument to a rebellion that failed, and an idea that was, forever, lost.